Ladies, gentlemen, and wrestling fans alike, welcome to yet again another episode of the Squash Match Wrestling Podcast, episode 9, if I am not mistaken. We've been pretty accurate with it the last couple of weeks. This week we had Saturday night's main event going on, which I feel like blew all expectations out of the water. However, we will get to that in just a couple of seconds. I'm Jake. I'm here once again with Jet Li. Before we get into what went down in the WWE this week, Jet Li, how you doing?
Doing good, man. This is kind of bittersweet for me. This is my last episode in Philly,
Oh
so
yeah, there you go. That's what we talked about last week, right? You're moving back.
yeah.
Maybe we could get that in-person episode for the episode 10 special.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Yeah, if I can figure out the camera setup and get myself one of those adapters, we'll be all set.
Hell yeah.
Be good for it. I started my first full-time job today, so yeah, that was something else. I guess it was interesting. My first assignment ever after I got in, got my paperwork done, and sat down at my desk was to go around and steal shit. Because we recently moved. Before I started full time, they moved all the salespeople from the fifth floor down to the bottom floor of the building because nobody works there anymore. Like the building we work in got sold, and it's like completely empty except for the top floor for whatever reason. I don't know the backstory as to why that is, but all the salespeople are now on the bottom floor, and for whatever reason, probably because I'm partially on air stuff, partially sales, I get to stay on the top floor. So there's like three empty offices and like two rooms of empty cubicles. So my boss was like, "Your first thing is to get your desk set up, go around and take whatever you want from the empty offices." So I found a nice stapler in there today. I found a roll of tape, a little notepad, some pens, some pencils. I found a really cool Rock 107 water bottle, which I accidentally forgot at work, but I will have it. I'll have it tomorrow. I also found this little blue thing for my microphone. So if you're wondering where that came from, I found that in a drawer today. So that was the extent of my first day of work. Obviously, I had a little bit. I had a little bit of other things going on too, but that's all boring shit. I liked my pirate adventure that I went on today. Anyway, though, let's get right into WWE for today. Saturday night's main event, a show that I believe neither of us had any expectation for whatsoever. We kind of briefly skimmed over it at the beginning of last week's episode, saying, "Yeah, here's this. Let's get right into Money in the Bank," which we were also very wrong about a couple of things for that show, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll get around to that too. Overall, how were you feeling about Saturday night's main event?
I think you're still struggling with
Still,
it. Honestly, it definitely exceeded expectations. This felt more than just like a glorified house show. Like it did feel like somewhat of like a B tier PLE, which I'm glad that it actually happened because like this was a really good match card for what it was.
yeah, it definitely did. Like you said a couple of seconds ago, most Saturday night's main events so far haven't felt like nothing but a glorified house show. This one was special. We had like actual story beats happening, actual advancements and plots going on. We had some awesome matches too. Let's get right into our first match of the night, and that was. Hold on, I just brain farted. What was the first match of the night? Shit. I don't have them written down today. I don't have them in order. God damn it. Some podcast host I am.
I don't really remember.
Dude, what was the first match tonight? I don't know. I'm sure we'll get back. Oh wait, it was the biggest one. How could I forget? Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. We got our third member of the brand new faction in this match. We had Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker take the W. What did you think about this match overall?
This was a really good match to open up Saturday night's main event, especially when you have like your biggest stars on Raw just to open up a show with like little or no expectations. I feel like it really set the tone going into the rest of the night.
Yeah, I feel like the match itself was. I don't want to say it was nothing special. Like it was good. It was more than a Monday Night Raw main event. It was just a regular B tier PLE match. I feel like it wasn't something I'd go back and rewatch, other than for the special surprise that we had at the end, which we'll get to in a second. But Yeah, I don't know. Overall, it was entertaining. It was a good way to start the show, like you said, with the biggest names on Monday Night Raw, some of the biggest storylines going on right now. As for our third member, we got our official re-debut of Big Bronson Reed. He is the third member of Seth Rollins' brand new faction. It's not Austin Theory. It's not Ethan Page. Not Ilya Dragunov. How are you feeling about Big Bronson Reed here?
I was genuinely surprised when we saw him because we literally mentioned last week that he potentially still could have been part of Solo Sikoa's bloodline, and that just isn't the case anymore. He is part of, I guess, what you could say Seth Rollins calls it the future of the industry now.
Yeah, I'd much rather have him here than I would in Solo Sikoa's bloodline. I feel like it already doesn't make sense to have him there, other than the fact that like he's from that part of the world, like the Timu bloodline, the just thrown together, the quilt bloodline, if you will. Yeah, I like him. I like him here, especially after Paul Heyman's promo that he had on Monday Night Raw, saying, "Hey, this is the guy who destroyed Seth freaking Rollins. We respected him so much, we brought him in as our own." This faction is looking super dominant right now.
Oh, I agree. And and it's very subtle for me. I love that they're in like all black. Like there's nothing flashy about their gear. They're just there just to destroy everyone.
Except for Seth Rollins's Versace Pit Vipers. Dude, those were so sick. I really wanted a pair. I am a Pit Viper enthusiast. I've loved Pit Vipers since the day I turned 15 or whatever it was. But yeah, I love them. I wear them everywhere. I do need a new pair, though. Mine are all scratched up. And at the moment, I don't know where they are. So a Versace pair. I just got my full-time job. Maybe I could afford that now.
Use that first paycheck well.
Yeah, yeah, for real. I was deciding right now between obviously the Versace Pit Vipers, some new goalie equipment, or like saving up and taking myself to SummerSlam or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Got to confirm that with the girlfriend first, but I don't know. That'd be cool. We'll see what happens though. Um, where was I going? Oh yeah, the all black. I do like the fact that they wear the all black. Like you said, it's very subtle, but very heelish, especially after Seth's promo on Raw, where he actually finally. I mean, we know he was a heel at this point, but he hasn't come out and like acknowledged the crowd, saying like, "You guys are idiots. I hate you all. I'm the bad guy now." But that's pretty much what this promo was, and it was a little bit confusing too. Like not like to me, but like he was trying to play with the audience a little bit. Like he was like, "You guys don't know whether to boo me or cheer me or whatever." Like one point they're saying like "fuck you, Seth," and then the next they're singing his song. So like I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're still seeing like the tweener, more like heel side of this group. I feel like they're just trying to be. I guess Seth Rollins' like viewpoint is just trying to be more logical, like being one of those like justified heels. And I feel like it's really tough, especially for him because he's always been great as a face and a heel. So like he's in like that weird tweener spot.
Yeah, it all goes back to the that justified heels thing. I feel like because for as much as they are obviously the big bad on Monday Night Raw right now, and they're building up Seth Rollins to be the future of the industry, which I wouldn't even call him the future because he's been the future. He's been the present for the past like 10 to 12 years now. But I don't know. I digress. Uh, but yeah, it's like people just can't help but cheer these justified heel characters. I'm one of those people, as we know, a big Karrion Kross enthusiast, big Drew McIntyre enthusiast. We'll get to Karrion Kross later on in the night, though, because thank fucking God he was finally on television.
We were waiting for it and it happened
Yeah,
last night.
finally. Fuck it. Let's get right into it right now. I'm so happy Karrion Kross was on TV, dude. Like, finally, he had more than 4 seconds of screen time. I'd say he got a solid 45 seconds to a minute this time.
I'd say so. And I will add this on from the looks of things. He might not be in the Money in the Bank match since those two qualifying matches that we saw.
No, he's
Like half of
definitely
our predictions were in both matches, and
they just
it did
blew
not
up right
go.
in front of our eyes. We got
The only
Penta.
one that got Yeah, we got Penta, but other than that, it's like we wanted El Grande Americano or Chad Gable. He was
Hey,
in the same match.
El
Like
Grande hasn't had a match yet. El Grande
that's
could still qualify. Although Chad Gable is wrestling earlier on in the night at Worlds Collide. But El Grande's not.
yeah. I mean, there's still a possibility. Is it likely? Probably not.
Yeah, I doubt they would have somebody like that go twice in the same day. If they are in fact the same person. I don't know though. We'll find out. Do you think that this backstage segment that we had will lead to finally a feud with Sami Zayn for Karrion Kross?
I hope so because I feel like they've been trying to set up these two for like not even weeks now, probably at least a year,
Yeah.
maybe if I had to guess. Like these two have been going at it backstage, and I feel like now is like the perfect time. We're starting to ramp up into the summer. Let's get Karrion Kross into the feud.
Yeah, it's like Karrion has nothing going on, obviously. The only thing he's had going on is Logan Paul and Sami Zayn for the past couple of months or maybe even year, like you said. I think Sami Zayn would be the perfect feud to get him started with because Sami Zayn is, I don't want to call him a lovable loser because he does win, but it's like a loss doesn't really do anything to Sami Zayn at this point. You know, we see Sami Zayn lose all the time. He lost on Monday Night Raw last night, and people want to see Karrion Kross winning. By the way, I ordered a Karrion Kross t-shirt because I had a free fan cash from the Fanatics casino that just dropped. They gave me free cash for signing up, and I immediately bought a Karrion Kross t-shirt, so that'll be here in the next couple weeks. But anyway, yeah, I think that if they want to give Karrion Kross a win, which hopefully they do because people are loving the guy, he is selling hundreds of thousands of t-shirts. That's a made up number, but I'm assuming, I don't know. Um, but yeah, I want to see Karrion Kross win. And I think Sami Zayn is a great first person to give him a win against.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, because yes, I said it already. Sami Zayn doesn't have much going on. And my prediction was Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank, but obviously that's not happening now. So
Yeah, I mean, so far, last week's episode, what we said with our way too early predictions is like we're already at like three strikes. We're like,
yeah, we're done. We're done.
we struck out already.
We're so done. We're cooked. Hey, you know what? It was a fun episode. Now we could do our official Money in the Bank predictions uh in a week or two or next week actually because Money in the Bank will be on Saturday at that point. But yeah, I don't know. Now we can do actual predictions and see how wrong we actually were because we should have the full match card by Tuesday, I'd imagine, unless there's one final qualifier on like SmackDown or something. Um, but yeah, guess we'll see what happens. In the meantime, though, anything more on Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, even CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross?
I will say now that like Bronson is like the third official member, this group is like legit, and I don't think anyone really had Bronson being the potential third member.
Yeah, because I had like Braun Breaker being that like powerhouse of the faction, you know? Like I had him being like the big guy, the strong guy, the one that everyone's afraid of. But now you got two of them. You got two big
Yep.
dogs. It's like having a pit bull and a Rottweiler sitting in your yard. It's like what are you going to do? Nobody could touch Seth Rollins. If Seth Rollins goes after the World Heavyweight Championship, which first of all, I don't think he needs the Money in the Bank briefcase in order to do that. I feel like Seth is at like Rhea Ripley levels right now where he could just be like, I want a championship match. And they'll be like, okay, here you go. Um, there is no way, with the help of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, that he should lose whenever his next title match is. Like, at all. There is zero chance in hell until one of these guys either turns on him or like dies or gets hospitalized. He's going to have like he has to have like a bloodline Roman Reigns, maybe not 3 years long, but like a very long title run once he wins it.
I saw something hilarious on Twitter, and someone called the group the blind line because of them wearing glasses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's something we could do here. What are your predictions for the name of this faction?
I feel
I had a
like
good
it's
run.
gonna be I feel like it's gonna be so simple, but I feel like they're just gonna be like called the Visionary.
I was gonna say the Vision.
Yeah,
I think
like something
Vision or
along
the
those lines.
Vision. Yeah, I think that would be good for them. Because I saw a post on Twitter and some people had like some stupid results. I wish I saved it because I could have went and looked at it, but it was like Pure Fusion Collective levels of like dog shit names for this faction. I was like, guys, it's really not that hard. He is a visionary. He is a revolutionary. It's either going to be the revolution or the vision. Like, come on.
Yeah, like honestly, like this group is like giving me like reminders of like pandemic era when Seth Rollins was the Messiah. Like this is giving me like those type of vibes, and he pretty much upgraded from the Authors of Pain to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Yeah, yeah. Especially after his WrestleMania entrance, kind of looked like Jesus there.
Yeah.
All right. Anything more on Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross, the whole hodgepodge of shit that we just covered in that section?
I'm good.
All right, let's move on to what I thought was the low light of the night. This was the most Saturday night's main event feeling match of the night. It was Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green for the Women's United States title. Um, it's not that I didn't like this match. It was okay. Um, it just felt like something we would have saw on SmackDown, especially with the I guess you could say botched 619 and the breaking of the nose of Chelsea Green. I don't know. How are you feeling about this match?
This one was rough because I feel like their like previous meetings together, like they were actually like good, not good, but like they were like decent matches. This one, I mean, I didn't realize like there was only 4 matches going into this weekend without this match. So this was just like a filler throw-in match that they just needed to have like a full like 5 card.
Yeah, this felt like Dominic Mysterio versus Penta, like the vibe of it from Backlash, just kind of pushed in there. The story wasn't my favorite going into it. Like we've seen, it was similar to when Chelsea Green was defending against Michin week after week after week. It was like we've seen this 3 or 4 times already. The only way I think that this could have been justified is if Chelsea Green won her title back, which is what I was really expecting them to do when they announced this, because Zelina Vega isn't getting the biggest pops. We've been kind of saying it for weeks. Her song sucks. She has almost no aura, which is unfortunate because I really do like Zelina Vega. Um, just not as the U.S. champ right now. The story going into her reign wasn't great. The story of her reign so far hasn't been great. I think they just gotta take the title and put it on somebody new, like Julia. I think Julia would be a great choice.
Yeah, like I really feel bad for Zelina because I feel like she is like trying her hardest to like get herself over and the U.S. Women's title over. But it's like no one really knows what her gimmick is. She got the most Def Rebel out of everyone,
Oh
so like
yeah,
no one still knows her song after her using it for like a month now already. So like it's really hard to get behind her.
yeah, it really is. You know who else got Def Rebelled? I feel Fraxium.
Kind of. It's not that bad, but to be fair though, they didn't really have an official like theme song. It was just a mashup of Nathan Frazier's and Axioms, even though it was like majority
Yeah, I was
Axiom.
gonna say, isn't it just like the beginning of Nathan Frazier's into Axioms? And now
Yeah.
they have like a whole thing. I mean, yeah, it's definitely not as bad as Zelina Vega's. It just feels a little corny. Which I guess is fine for a
Yeah.
fresh new team like for Axiom. They could move on to something else later on if people really aren't jiving with it. Like maybe down the line, I'm talking like years down the line, um, they take a hiatus or something. Like most wrestlers do. They all get time off and then they come back with something bigger and better. Like let them kind of build themselves up a little bit first and then they could get something better. But I don't know. I wasn't too big of a fan of it, but definitely better than Selena Vega's.
Oh yeah, I, anything is better than Zelina Vegas.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Um, anything else here on Zelina Vega, Women's United States Championship, Chelsea Green, even before we move on?
I'm good.
All right, let's get into my absolute favorite match of the night. That was the squash match between John Cena and Ron Cena. I thought that R-Truth coming out to John Cena's entrance was like brilliant. It was so funny. I didn't see it coming. Honestly, sitting in my bed watching it, I thought it was a production error because John Cena came out first, and then I hear John Cena's music hit again. I was like, oh god, somebody fucked up. And then R-Truth came out in like a John Cena t-shirt and the whole shtick, and I was like, oh my god. I love R-Truth. He is a national treasure.
Here's the thing though, like the shirt that R-Truth had on wasn't even like something that looked like it was like stitched up last minute. Like that looks like an official shirt that you could probably buy right
Oh,
now.
you definitely can at this point. Not like his Judgment Day shirt where he actually had a piece of tape with like his name on it or his face on it or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like this looks like it was actually done by like WWE production, and I'm hoping the shirt is on like the WWE shop.
Oh yeah, it totally is. If it's not now, it will be in a week or so.
Yeah, because I'd 100% buy it.
Yeah. Were you aware going into this match that John Cena is actually prior to this match was 1-2 against R-Truth?
Actually, yeah, surprisingly.
I
Like
didn't
I
know that.
did like I didn't like know the extent of it. Like I knew that Truth did have wins over Cena. I just didn't I just thought it was like more than I thought.
Yeah, Randy Orton and R-Truth now have the same win percentage over John Cena at 50%.
Yeah, and that really goes to show I guess like the difference between matches those two have had against Cena.
Yeah.
I mean, R-Truth, I mean, he knows what he's doing.
until we
He's
get
got wins over Cena.
Yeah, until we get R-Truth versus John Cena inside Hell in a Cell. Yeah, then I'll believe it. As for the match itself, I really liked it. I think it did its job. It was all it needed to be. I thought it was a little weird that it wasn't a championship match. Like, why not put the title on the line? We all knew John Cena was going to beat R-Truth. I think it just would have added a little something extra to it if the title was on the line.
Yeah, they made it seem like the title was on the line going into it, but I guess it was like a last minute change where they decided not to have the title defended.
Yeah, I didn't know it wasn't on the line until the match started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little weird. Um, I really liked like the towards the end of the match, John Cena grabs the title. He's looking R-Truth in the eyes and he's about to hit him with it. And for that split second, it was like John Cena's looking in the mirror and he's like, "What am I doing?" You know, it's like he's looking at his old self as his new self, and he's like, "Damn, am I really doing this?" And then of course he screws over R-Truth, and it's like this was like a no going back point for John Cena right now. Like he had his chance to correct the errors of his ways, and just no, we're full on heel Cena now for the remainder of the year.
And I'm honestly like all for it because I feel like heel Cena is like the most unpredictable Cena now.
Yeah, I love this character. It's awesome.
Same here, because now it's just like an emotional roller coaster of what he's gonna do, what he's gonna say, and how he's gonna finish matches.
Yeah, I said that this match was like a haiku. It was short, it was sweet, it was to the point, and it told an emotional little story. John Cena looking in the mirror and just going full on dark side. No turning back.
Yeah, poor R-Truth, man. This is why people say never meet your heroes.
Yeah. Never impersonate your heroes when your heroes are evil and want to beat the shit out of you in front of thousands of people.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on R-Truth versus John Cena? Not for the WWE Championship before we move on.
I'm good.
All right. Next match up. We had. Why do I not know again off the top of my head? Holy shit. I'm such a
Ma-
bad host. I literally I can't even think. because I don't want to skip.
McIntyre Priest.
It was okay. There we go. McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Thank you. Inside of a steel cage match. My favorite part of this match was Jesse Ventura roasting the fact that you could just walk out of a steel cage match, which I also thought was kind of stupid. Overall, the match itself, though, what did you think about it?
This, in my opinion, was match of the night. Everything delivered with this match. Especially like Drew McIntyre. There were reports that he wasn't. He was probably like 80% going into this match. Like, said he couldn't turn his neck all the way to the left. Like, and this was basically him being written off for a decent amount of time. For I'm hoping it's for him to actually recover from it. But yeah, overall, I think this was a really good match between these two. I'm just not a fan of the fact that they had to revisit it. I feel like this match could have ended at Mania, and then McIntyre could have had his time off from there.
Yeah, it totally could have. This one, I don't want to say it felt last minute because they did kind of build up to it for the last couple of weeks, but it was definitely just an excuse to get Drew McIntyre off of TV for a little while, especially with the concerto at the end. I felt like that was just like the killing blow to Drew McIntyre for the next couple of months. You know, go back, get healthy. Drew doesn't really have too much going on after Damian Priest, I feel. Like, this guy needs to be competing for world titles. And especially with the surprise we got at the end of the show, I don't think he's going to be competing for that world title until probably the end of John Cena's heel run here, or at least his run as WWE champion. Um, but yeah, this is just an excuse to get him off TV because right now it just doesn't look like they have too much for him in the tank. Damian Priest, on the other hand, could do kind of whatever he wants. He can go after the U.S. title. He can go after Solo Sikoa. I don't know. He's got options.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this on like a few podcasts ago, but the SmackDown mid card pretty much has to act like the main event card just because of the fact that like Cena is WWE champion. He's basically in different feuds with both Raw and SmackDown, so the SmackDown mid card needs to like elevate themselves into like that main event card, but I feel like it's just tough when you don't really know who's on like the higher tier or the lower tier of that card.
Yeah, and I feel like Damian Priest has the opportunity to really be one of those, I guess you could say now, main event talents, main event baby faces, rather. I guess you could count Jacob Fatu as a baby face now. Kinda. We're getting there. We got LA Knight, we got Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre just feels like he's on such a higher level than any of those guys, where it wouldn't even be fair to put him in a match against any of them because people would just think he has to win. Like, I don't think you could justify a loss for Drew McIntyre. I don't think you could justify it for Jacob Fatu at this point just yet. I think it would be a good match, like a close match, but there's a reason he didn't take the pin at Backlash. You know, he's just so much higher than everybody else right now, and I don't know. It's like he would fit, but he just doesn't. Not right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially like Jacob, I feel like now the pressure is gonna be more on him since he is the US champion. I mentioned this also where like the US title basically now has to play as like the main title on SmackDown now, just because we know Cena's gonna be doing his own stuff where he's not really gonna be feuding with anyone on SmackDown if we really see it. Um, but yeah, it's gonna bring a lot of pressure to the SmackDown mid card and to see what they really deliver for it to really become like main event status.
Yeah, because I feel like SmackDown's like mid card slots right now are in a good spot where they could be filled in. Like we have Carmelo Hayes, we have Aleister Black, we have the Miz, the tag team matches every single week that we have. We had a singles match last week, Tommaso Ciampa and one of the Motor City Machine Guns guys. I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but like that, those slots can get filled. We need to save those upper mid carders for this main event. You know, U.S. title's going to be carrying for a little bit. All right. Anything else on Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre before we move on here?
Since we know this was McIntyre's write-off, when do you think we'll see him?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I don't think you could have SummerSlam without Drew McIntyre. So I'm gonna say somewhere around then. depending on the extent of his injury. Because we don't have too many big PLEs. We have Money in the Bank, and then not much up until SummerSlam. I mean, King of the Ring has to happen still, right?
Maybe.
But that leads to a title shot, and again, he's on SmackDown. SmackDown title is, we'll say, occupied for the time being. I don't think he fits in there at the moment. Somebody from Raw is most likely going to win King of the Ring, I feel, and go on to face whether it's Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, or maybe Gunther at that time. But yeah, I'm gonna go SummerSlam, maybe around there. I don't think he'll be gone for too long because if he competed with his neck's not broken or anything, he just is having some, I don't know whether it's a muscle spasm, pains, stiffness, just general bumps, bruises, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Just give him some time to recover. I think he'll be back in a few months. Like Bianca Belair's coming back next week already. She had broken fingers, so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do think McIntyre is gonna be out a little longer, and that's really just to like preserve his like top spot on SmackDown. Like I honestly think we probably won't see McIntyre until like the Royal Rumble.
Really?
Well, I was reading reports that he's supposed to be out for like a decent amount of time.
Yeah, I didn't see any reports or anything, so I was just kind of going off a whim saying that. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into how injured he really is.
I mean, he had one hell of a schedule, like some of the feuds he's gone through like the past like 2 years now, so he really deserves the rest that he like really needs.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially after the table bump he took at Backlash. You know, like he hit his head off the concrete or whatever. Before that, he was inside of Elimination Chamber twice, inside of 2 Royal Rumbles, went through Hell in a Cell, just had a steel cage match, Sin City Street Fight at WrestleMania. So yeah, I could see it. If he really is that bumped up. I am gonna miss Drew McIntyre though, like I've been saying for weeks now. One of my favorites right now.
Yeah, I mean, if he does come back, I mean, I keep saying it every time. I know it's not gonna happen. Bring back Broken Dreams. That's all I'm asking for.
Maybe with his newest return when he comes back, we'll hear it at the Royal Rumble. It'll be entry number 30. Broken Dream starts playing.
I hope, because honestly, Doom ruined this theme song for
Yeah.
me.
It's unfortunate. We went over it in the WrestleMania podcast. I hate the advertisement things, and I know it's gonna happen again at SummerSlam. Probably second biggest show of the year, maybe third biggest. I'd say now it's the second. Now that it's 2 nights, it would have been behind Royal Rumble for me, but yeah, there's definitely gonna be ads there. It's gonna suck ass.
Yeah, especially since SummerSlam is 2 nights now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I want to go. I want to go. Stay in a nice hotel. Dude, I love staying in hotels. I don't know what it is, but like a nice air conditioned hotel room with like a stiff mattress that gets really cold at night. I live for that shit. I look forward to vacations every year just to stay in hotel rooms. I don't even want to go out. I sound like such a loser right now, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I need like a nice like. I need to go to like a PLE again because it's been a while since I've gone to one.
I've never been to a PLE. I've only been to Browser Smackdowns.
The last one I went to was it was Royal Rumble in Philly when I think that was the year Shinsuke won.
One of my neighbors went to that. I remember seeing it on her Snapchat story.
Yeah, I mean, granted, like I was in the nosebleeds because they were like the cheapest tickets ever, but like still, I mean, if you ever get the chance to go to a PLE, I mean, definitely take your chance at it.
Oh yeah, if I go to SummerSlam, I'm gonna be up there. Who knows though? Maybe if I get paid enough, maybe if I'm really good at selling commercials, I'll get not front row seats, but close enough. I was looking at tickets the other day actually because I wanted to just kind of gauge where I'd have to be at. And there was one section. It wasn't like the front section by the entrance ramp, but it was like, so there's this section and the ramp is here. It was like the one next to it. They were like 1,000 each, which is still a shit ton of money. But I live with my parents. I don't have any car payments and I just got a full-time job. So it's possible if I don't buy a car or my hockey equipment or anything before then. I think it's doable.
Just set off like a certain amount from your paychecks.
Yeah. If I saved like, because realistically, I don't spend that much money on shit. So if I saved like half of my paycheck every 2 weeks for like a couple months, I'd probably be at 2 grand within like 2 months, depending on how much my paychecks actually are. I'm assuming they're going to be a certain amount. I won't put that out there what it will actually be. But yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and then you gotta think about all the taxes that get taken out of your checks.
That too. Taxes, and then you got to pay for a hotel room and food and gas driving there and all this other shit. So the tickets themselves are a small fortune for me anyway. Um, I don't know. This is going to require a lot more planning than I think it's going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's
usually when I go on vacation, it's just like oh, let's go to the beach for 3 days, and then we just go because Ocean City, New Jersey, is what 2.5 hours away, and it's really not all that expensive.
yeah. I couldn't even tell you the last time I went to the beach, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the beach. I don't like it.
Neither am I, because it's like, oh yeah, let's go lay out in like the sand, or let's go into like the murky ass water of
Yeah,
Ocean
let's go in the
City.
murky ass ocean with the jellyfish and the sharks. Yeah, okay. The sea urchins. Let's go step on a horseshoe crab. Like, okay, I'm good, man. I hate the ocean, dude. I hate it so much. At night, I fall asleep to like dinosaur videos, like prehistoric shit, and like I watch like ocean video, like prehistoric oceans.
Mm.
There's some scary shit in the ocean, like back then and like now. Like it's just crazy. The ocean is like a cesspool of just hellish creatures.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, and like the ocean's not even like fully discovered. There's like still, it's only like 10% that's actually been
Yeah,
discovered.
like there's totally alien life living at the bottom of the ocean. Like there's theories that octopuses, octopuses, I don't know. They come from space. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just never been an ocean guy, never been a beach guy. I hate sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, and it gets everywhere. Um, and especially, okay, I don't want to like shit on my girlfriend here or anything, but she is the type of person who would rather go to the beach and lay down for like 6 hours straight. Which, you know what? Fine. If you could do that, that's a great way to relax or whatever. Me, I gotta be digging a hole. I gotta be like throwing a football or like playing wiffle ball or volleyball or I would say swimming, but I don't do that. Um, I gotta be doing something. So to sit on the beach with her for like 6 hours a day kind of sucks. She knows that too, though. I've said that to her before. So just not a beach guy.
Yeah. Also, like I'm a relatively big guy. I don't really do heat well.
Yeah,
I would just like to chill like in like my igloo of a hotel or something.
yeah. Maybe like the hotel pool. That's a great spot. You know, there's no hellish fish down there. No sharks are gonna eat my foot off or anything. I'm not gonna step on a goddamn horseshoe crab. I hate horseshoe crabs, dude. They're the most terrifying creatures ever, and they're harmless.
Uh, I mean, yeah.
I don't like them. I don't like them. Like stepping on them while you're under the water, like they're under the water, you can't see them. I gotta wear like water shoes when I'm in the ocean, and even then, just no, not my thing. I actually wanted to go in the water when we went last year. I walk up to the beach. I shit you not. The first day we were there, I looked down. A jellyfish washed up between my legs, and I went, "All right, I'm done." Nope, that was enough for me. I didn't even touch the
Yeah.
water yet.
I was gonna say that there's already like a bad aura forming.
Yeah, like no, I'm good. I'm good. Where were we?
Uh,
Anything else
uh,
on Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre or the beach before we move on here?
I'm good.
All right. Main event of the show. We have main event Jey Uso taking on Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. I had one problem with this match. In ring, I thought it was fine. I thought it was a pretty good match between Jey Uso and Logan Paul. Uh, Glad they had a good match. I also wish I saw the match because there was a 5 minute commercial break in the middle of the 15-minute match. So I got to watch Jey Uso and Logan Paul's entrances. I got to watch the bell ring, and then I got to watch the end of the match. So that was kind of ass.
Yeah, did you watch it on NBC or Peacock?
I watched it on Peacock.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the issue with Saturday night's main event because it is technically broadcasted on NBC as well. You're bound to get the ads.
Yeah, like you have to. There's no way. Because even sometimes on Peacock, there wouldn't be ads. It would just be the Peacock screen that was like, we'll be right back, going for like literally 4 or 5 minutes. It was kind of ass. Um, and that's, like you said, the problem with Saturday night's main event. I said it right that time. Um, but it's like the glorified house show aspect of it. I understand if you have the commercials there. But now when you're trying to do things with it, storyline wise, it's like it's hard to have those commercial breaks. I think because especially because it's a 2 hour show, like it's not even 3 hours. If it was 3 hours, they could put commercials between each match, it'd be fine. But if they didn't have a fifth match, like if Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green wasn't on this card, I would say it would have been fine because then they could do entrance, commercial break, match, commercial break, then move on to whatever's next and just repeat that. But like when you have to put the commercial breaks inside of the matches, it kind of kills it.
Yeah, that's why it's like really tough for me to even like critique this match because the only thing that was really of importance was like towards the end.
Yeah, when John Cena comes out, attempts to screw over Jey Uso because they had that backstage thing earlier in the show too after John Cena's match, where John Cena was like, "Hey, you know what would really ruin wrestling? If a YouTuber that nobody likes and they say he can't wrestle were to become the world heavyweight champion." Now, from that, I didn't get the foreshadowing. I didn't get the memo that John Cena was going to come out and attempt to ruin wrestling one more time. Uh, Glad he did though. It was kind of entertaining, especially with the return of Cody Rhodes after that. Like I think if this was a bigger PLE, I wouldn't have been happy with it. But this was a Saturday night's main event that was attempting to be more than what we've been saying Saturday night's main events have been. And yeah, I think it got the job done.
Yeah, I will say I was a bit surprised about Cody's return because I thought we would have seen him return after Money in the Bank because we were both saying like, oh, Cena has to defend his title at Money in the Bank, right? And turns out we're not going to get it. It's going to be him and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, which I think is going to be a banger of a match, but I feel like they had to bring Cody back just because like people were starting to miss him.
Yeah, a little bit because I'd been seeing stuff online like, "Hey, I miss Cody Rhodes. Bring Cody Rhodes back." Another problem that arises from this match, and I'm glad you mentioned the no WWE Championship match here because we're not going to get a championship match for either of the world titles because they are both locked into this tag team match. Which opens up the door for my prediction last week of Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton with the Naomi cash in. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, I feel like Money in the Bank. It's one of the bigger ones. It's an A tier PLE, I'd call it. It's not S tier, but it's definitely A tier. People do look forward to Money in the Bank. I do anyway. Um, and yeah, there just has to be a championship match on there. So I think they're gonna have to go women's division for this one. Not a knock on the
Yeah.
women's division, by the way.
Yeah, and I feel like so I was reading something on Twitter and I really agree with this. WWE has like way too many PLEs within like the next like 3 month span because we have WWE Worlds Collide prior to Money in the Bank. And that in itself I thought was really confusing because I thought it was originally just strictly NXT and AAA.
Yeah.
And until they converted into okay, since it's a full WWE acquisition, we're gonna make it WWE Worlds Collide with AAA, which I mean, I'm all for it, but I feel like that same crowd from Worlds Collide is probably going to be there for Money in the Bank. So like, who knows what the energy is really going to be like? Especially since we don't really have a full Money in the Bank card yet. Besides, we know like the Money in the Bank ladder matches. We know Becky Lynch and Lyra for the title. We know the tag team match with Cena, Paul, um, Rhodes, and Uso. But like other than that, I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of wrestling, and it's gonna be really hard to keep up if you have two PLEs in the same day.
Yeah, like if you remember, what was the like 9 hour WrestleMania? Was it 30,
35.
35? Yeah. By the end of the show, dude, people were just cooked. And I didn't know that um I didn't know that they were going to be in the same building, Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. I don't know why I didn't know that. It kind of makes sense to have them both there. Everything will already be set up. But yeah, if those crowds are staying for both shows, that's like 6, 7 hours of wrestling. I'd imagine there's going to be a break in between, but like, what are you going to go home? Like, no, that's not how it works. Um,
Oh no, I think they're both in different venues.
oh, are they? Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, because I think Worlds Collide is supposed to be in I think like the Kia Forum or something like that, and then Money in the Bank is gonna be in the Intuit Dome where they had the Raw debut on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, your point still stands. People are probably going to go from one to the other. I'd imagine they sold
Yeah.
combo tickets for both. They're probably fairly close to each other. Um, for somebody like me who doesn't really watch NXT all that much, though, I will kind of disagree with you saying that it wasn't like a great idea to have WWE superstars on AAA, or like maybe you just didn't expect them to do that. I'm glad they did because somebody like me who doesn't watch too much NXT, I definitely don't watch AAA. I'm now invested in this. I want to see Chad Gable. I want to see Los Garza on this show. So I'm gonna have it on. I'm gonna have it on as like a pregame thing. I'm gonna have all my friends over. We're gonna be drinking. We're gonna be watching uh, AAA and WWE go at it. Then we're gonna start Money in the Bank. It's gonna be a fun night. Um,
Hey, I'm just saying I'll be back in town at that point.
hey, if you want to stop over, go for it.
I'll heavily consider it.
Yeah, I'll drop the addy. We'll get you over here. We'll be running some beer ball, maybe some die. You ever play die?
Yeah, not a fan. Not gonna lie.
Oh, really, dude? I love die. We were playing it the other day. It was really fun.
Kings ruined it for me.
We had a good time the other day. But yeah, you can stop over totally.
Hell yeah.
Um, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. Anything
Worlds
else?
Collide.
Oh yeah, what's Clyde? What's Clyde? Um, see, I don't know too much about the AAA guys. Is my thing other than Vikingo now when he punched Chad Gable, kind of screwed him out of the match on Raw, which was an awesome match, by the way. When I saw that this was announced, it was Penta, Dragon Lee, and Chad Gable. I was like, this is going to be a technical showdown here. Other than when Chad Gable got dropped on his face, I thought it was crazy. The Dragon Lee spot. See, the only thing I didn't like about the Dragon Lee spot was I couldn't see him jump from the ring, so I didn't know if he like got up on the rope and like propelled himself, or if he just straight up front flipped out of the ring, which knowing Dragon Lee, he probably just straight up front flipped out of the ring onto the announce desk, which was insane. That made Braun Breaker's table jump look like nothing. But yeah, this match was really good, and I saw it. I was just like, damn, this is going to go crazy. Unfortunately, I saw it, and I was like, well, there goes our prediction from last week. But
Yeah. I will say, I am glad that Cody's back since we were talking about um uh Jey Uso and Logan Paul. The issue I really have, it wasn't like the return itself, it's the stage design and the ramp. Cody's trying to get to the ring at like full sprint, and he has to pull like a crossover ankle breaker because of the curved ramp.
Yeah.
Stop with the curved ramps.
Yeah. They just do that to fit more people into the arena, which like fair enough. But yeah, I could see
I
how that
mean,
could
like,
be a tripping hazard.
fair enough if you want to add more people, but it's like, why can't you just like have like the Raw setup and just make the runway shorter from that point on?
Yeah, that's true. Um,
Like it's like all the time, especially with like Royal Rumble, like a few years ago when they had the curve ramp, everyone's like booking at full speed and then they have to stop at the curve just to pick up speed again, just to go into
yeah.
the ramp.
And it
Like
was
I
like
hate the ramp design.
by the time they got to the ring, it was like the next person was about to come out. Like if they didn't sprint, it's like they had
Hmm.
to, especially when they're in football stadiums like that, because like you can come out from like close to the end zone, the 10-20 yard line, and you're sprinting to the 50. That's like a 30-yard sprint. Just to
Yeah.
get in the ring, and like usually when you hop in the ring, you immediately go after somebody and start like pounding away, you know. So I
Yeah.
can see how that would be exhausting.
Like I get like they're trying to fit more people to the PLEs and like the bigger events, but like what difference does it make from a curve rather just going diagonal?
Yeah, I have no idea. There's got to be some engineer out there who's like, well, technically you could fit 10 more people in the 13th row if you move the ramp this way. I don't know. It's all money.
Yeah, like that was like the one thing like I couldn't take like Cody Rhodes' return seriously was like he was running full sprint trying to get to the ring and he just had to stop just because of the curve.
Yeah. Oh well though. What what are you gonna do? I guess WWE's gotta they gotta sell out. Gotta fill them up with as much people as possible in their $10,000 front row seats to a glorified house show.
Yeah, I want to know how much these tickets were.
They were probably a lot. I wouldn't doubt it, because it's technically a PLE, I guess.
Yeah, but this is like C tier
Yeah,
PLE.
this is like bottom of the barrel PLEs.
Like no one cares.
Yeah,
Like we said, so it goes like WrestleMania is S tier. We'll have like
I'll throw Royal Rumble up there. SummerSlam.
yeah, Money in the Bank A tier. You'll have like Backlash B tier, and then Saturday Night's Main Event is C tier.
Honestly, hot take. I would say Backlash is A tier now. The past like 3 Backlashes have absolutely cooked. Puerto Rico, France, St. Louis. I think Backlash is getting up there. Not from
That's
like a
fair.
gimmick standpoint, but
That's fair. But
I'd put it over Elimination Chamber.
so for me personally, if Backlash wasn't in St. Louis and was in an international crowd, it would have been A tier. I feel like Backlash is just a perfect like international PLE.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Because the only reason it was so good this year was because of Randy Orton, pretty much. The St.
Yeah.
Louis crowd though was insane. It almost felt like if the crowd was a little bit more on beat with their chanting and their singing, if they learned the lyrics to Randy Orton's theme song, like we said in the Backlash episode, um, it would have felt a lot more like a European crowd. Um, yeah, St. Louis was great
Well,
though.
but like France and Puerto Rico, though, I mean, they
Oh yeah,
pretty much set the standard for what Backlash is
yeah,
going to be for like hopefully the next few years.
yeah. They blew the roof off of it.
Yeah.
Almost literally, France almost made the whole arena collapse with the shaking.
I mean, France almost took the house down. Puerto Rico was pretty much a Bad Bunny concert.
Yeah,
Like, genuinely, Bad Bunny's entrance from Puerto Rico still might be like the greatest entrance of all time.
it was so good. And then the
Like,
match
he
was
made a
awesome.
yeah, like he made a wrestling show into a concert. Like, that's how like legit the entrance was.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. Um, yeah, for me, Backlash is definitely up there. I'd put Survivor Series, maybe. See, because big things happen at Survivor Series. I think we discussed War Games and how we're not the biggest fans of War Games anymore. But something big always happens at Survivor Series. I'd put it like high B tier. It's supposed to be one of the big four. Like, I feel like the biggest shows of the year are supposed to be WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and then Survivor Series. Um, but I think Survivor Series I think it's been knocked down a couple notches.
Yeah, I will say Survivor Series has always been S tier for me. However, because of like the 4 or 5 straight years of War Games, it knocked it down to like low A, high B for me.
Yeah, I miss Raw versus SmackDown.
hmm
They should just have a separate War Games PLE.
Well, War Games was strictly NXT
Yeah,
prior going to the main event because it was always NXT War Games, and I feel like War Games just fit more of the chaos of NXT than it did the main roster.
yeah. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's just so hard to like. I don't want to say it's hard to watch, but it's like it's not okay. It's not the War Games itself that I think is hard to watch. It's like the normal singles matches or tag team matches because they have the two rings right next to each other and they don't move. So it's
Yep,
like
I mentioned.
yeah, it's like the camera is focused on the one ring, but it's very clear that the other ring is still there, and it's I don't know. I think it's just a
Yep.
little weird.
Yeah, I brought that up when we were talking about War Games
Yeah,
last time.
yeah, I
How
remember.
how a lot of the matches prior to the actual War Games match will be set in either of the ring, and the one ring just doesn't get used
Yeah,
like at all.
like they could at least do something with it, you know? Like they could throw the guy into the other ring. They don't even go out to the floor really because
Mm.
they can't. They can't go around it. It's just a giant obstacle. It's a limitation, if you will, on the match.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, where were we? Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes in the ramp.
Yeah. I thought Cody Rhodes' return. This might be a hot take too. I thought it was a little bit early. Um, for as glad as I am to have him back, and as much as I did miss Cody Rhodes, I feel like Cody Rhodes now, especially with this match at Money in the Bank now, he's going right for John Cena. Maybe it's just that the year is coming to a close already. John Cena's already running out of dates. But I don't want to see Cody Rhodes versus John Cena just yet. He didn't get to CM Punk yet. He didn't get to Drew McIntyre. He didn't get to like a bunch of other names that I would like to see John Cena go against one more time. You know? He didn't get to Roman
Yeah,
Reigns.
yeah.
He didn't get to get one up on Solo Sikoa.
There's no way Cena's out of dates because they did already like set his like last match in Boston for
Yeah.
like the end of the year. So
Yeah.
like my thing is like if Cody is already feuding with Cena again this early, who the hell is gonna end the feud with Cena when he's at his last match?
Yeah, cuz we predicted this a while ago, but it's all going to come full circle, and I think Cody Rhodes is going to be the one to take the title back from John Cena. And so, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena right now is screaming SummerSlam main event. So like SummerSlam's not too far away. It's like 3 months away. So I mean, yeah, there's time to build to it and stuff, but after that, August is what, the 8th month of the year? We have 9,
Yeah.
10, 11, 12. We got 4 months after that left with John Cena. So I don't know. It's just like, and I don't see John Cena beating Cody Rhodes again. I don't want to see him drop the title just yet. So I'm saying just yet, like it's gonna happen at Money in the Bank, but like we still got 3 months. But still, I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm really like wondering what the game plan is now that Cody Rhodes is back this early because I genuinely thought like Rhodes was going to come back at least at SummerSlam or
Yeah,
after.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So I don't know.
I mean, we've learned to always trust the process with Triple H of being head creative, so he might deliver something.
Let Papa H cook.
Yeah.
I think that would be another good spot. A good spot to cash in Money in the Bank too. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Maybe like a surprise thing. Because if you noticed when Seth Rollins was talking about Money in the Bank, he didn't say the World Heavyweight Championship. He just said, like, he kind of referenced going at either world title. So what if Seth Rollins wins and then he takes that one? You know, because I think I said this last week. The World Heavyweight Championship seems like the second place title. Like Roman Reigns called it when it initially came about. The losers bracket, if you will. Um, if Seth Rollins wants to be the top dog in WWE, I'd go after that one. That's the big one. And then you could revisit Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins.
I mean, realistically, you could also revisit Rollins and Cena at the same time.
Exactly. Exactly. You see, John Cena has so much history with so many people. And obviously, we know Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins going back. But there's so much you could do.
I'll say, or even hear me out. Rhodes wins it from Cena. Cena has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Recashes it in and
Yeah, I like that way better.
I'm still on
surprise appearance.
I'm still on board with it, and I really hope it happens. But at this rate, I don't think it will. I just have to like envision it, and maybe it'll happen.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't think it was ever gonna happen.
Watch, we're gonna be together for the Money in the Bank watch party, and Cena's gonna come out and win that damn thing.
Dude, if he does, I will give you like all the money in my wallet. Actually, not my wallet. I'll give you all the money on my nightstand because I got all my graduation money up there. I got about $1,400 with your name on it. If John Cena comes out and wins the Money in the Bank briefcase this year.
And like, here's the thing, though. Like, they were at Saturday night's main event. They were kind of hinting Cena and Jey Uso. What if he does cash it in on Jey Uso?
Dude, you're really digging for it now.
Yes, I am.
I respect your dedication to this.
Because all of our wild fantasy bookings have been completely wrong, and this is like the only one that I could really hedge on because logically speaking, it could still happen.
If this is the one that happens, I swear to God, after all the bullshit we've said in the past like 2 or 3 episodes, if this is the one that comes true, I will crash out. That would be like bigger than John Cena's heel turn. John Cena comes out, just climbs up the ladder, grabs the briefcase. Fuck you, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank now too.
Oh man,
that would ruin wrestling on a whole nother level.
I mean, he did say to Jey Uso he was gonna ruin wrestling one way, shape, or form.
He most certainly did.
Yeah, no, I'm still on board with it, and this is like the only thing that I hope for.
No, I respect that. I respect the grind and the belief.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
I mean, hey, here's the thing though. I'm just saying, Joe Hendry did just lose the TNA World Championship to Trick Williams. We could even still see Joe Hendry.
That's
my
true.
wild fantasy bookings, one or the other, could possibly still happen.
Well, when does Joe Hendry's contract run out? Because he is like a surefire WWE guy next. Whether he goes to NXT or the main roster, he's coming. We're getting Joe Hendry full-time WWE.
Honestly, I don't think his contract's gonna end like towards the end of the year.
Oh, okay. What if he wins
and he
cashes in on the TNA World Championship?
Why do you think I said he was going to be a wild card?
There you go. There you go. That'd be crazy. It's crazy that we live in a timeline right now that a WWE guy is the TNA World Champion.
And won it at a WWE event.
At a WWE event. Would it have been worse if he won it at a TNA event?
Here's the thing, though. It wasn't just a WWE event. It was a WWE PLE main event.
Well, Joe
Vince
Hendry's
McMahon would be rolling in his future grave right now.
he literally would. He's rolling in his prison cell right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is insane. I think that TNA is 100% getting bought by WWE, just like AAA is. And then they could do so many more of these Worlds Collide events. They could be just like Saturday night's main event now. Except now instead of having main roster guys, you'll have TNA going against AAA going against NXT. And maybe you throw a main roster guy in there too.
Was gonna say like now like the Forbidden Door, it's wide open now.
It's so open. It's blown off the hinges.
Yeah, because like WWE, they just partnered with AAA. Not too long ago, they just partnered with TNA. NXT has a thing going on with Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. Like, like I said, like the Forbidden Door is wide open for anyone. And like we mentioned AEW last week with like AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan. It's like there's so many companies that are merging together that it just helps like every single one of the companies that are involved.
I think what we need is like a faction war between like WWE, AAA, NXT, and TNA versus like AEW, Ring of Honor, and New Japan.
Yeah, I said it last week. Let's get
Yeah,
Judgment Day to raid
yeah,
AEW.
yeah, in a tank.
Yeah. I mean, after what we saw last night, who knows?
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Where were we?
Oh well, we were on Cody Rhodes, and then we went to that. So I don't know. I got nothing more on Saturday night's main event. If you want to move into some stuff from Raw and SmackDown this week, we kind of touched on Raw a lot already so far with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins qualifying for Money in the Bank. How about this one? How about Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch? We're coming right back to this one and the stipulations that Becky Lynch has put on this match. If Lyra Valkyria wins, Becky Lynch can no longer challenge Lyra for the IC title. However, if Becky wins, Lyra has to look her in the eyes, shake her hand, and raise her hand after the match. How do you feel about them coming back to this feud? I don't want to say so soon because I think we predicted that this one would be going on for a couple more months here, leading up to probably SummerSlam. But how do you feel about this match going into Money in the Bank?
I mean, surely Becky has to win, right? Like,
I think Becky's got this one too.
and the thing is, like, I could see like someone costing Lyra Valkyria this match. I don't know who it could be, but I feel like Becky Lynch is gonna have someone run in and help her win the title.
Do you think potentially Bayley siding with Becky? Or no, because we haven't seen Bayley since WrestleMania.
I don't think we're gonna see Bailey for a while. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, because Bayley's the only one who immediately comes to mind when I think this feud. Because I think initially I said I wanted to see Bayley versus Lyra versus Becky Lynch. I think we both said that a couple episodes ago. She's the only one I could really see having any kind of interference, and I wouldn't see her helping out Becky Lynch of all people. So, in terms of who you think could interfere and give Becky Lynch the win here, who do you think?
I mean, logically, like it probably would be Becky. I mean Bailey though, because prior to um, excuse me, prior to Lyra and Bailey being like that mesh tag team for whatever reason, they were going at it. I mean, there were hints that Bailey could have turned on Lyra. So I mean, we could see that. We could see, I don't know, a random NXT call up. I don't know why we would see that, but it's like there's like I don't really see how this match could go, just because of the fact that they are running it back. Because I feel like now is a good time for Becky to have the title. I just don't know if and how she's gonna win.
Yeah, I just kind of had Becky Lynch winning clean in this one. I think we both predicted back at Backlash that Becky was going to take it in the first one, which was probably one of my favorite matches of the year, women's wise, or just overall too. That match was so good. I just want to see them run it back and do it cleanly. I do think Becky Lynch is going to take it in the end, though, because I think that, especially with how personal they were getting in their promo on Raw, I think that this feud is going to boil over, like we said, likely till SummerSlam, where maybe that's when Bayley starts to get involved. Because if Bayley is going to get involved, I don't see her screwing over Lyra. I mean, yeah, they did have that tension after it was before WrestleMania, Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley for the IC title on Monday Night Raw, which should have friggin' been on WrestleMania. But yeah, she had a little slap of her hand before teaming up with her in her random ass tag team match. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's gonna go cleanly, but I do have Becky.
Yeah, and I will say this: to Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, this is how you get personal in a feud and actually have it make sense.
Yeah, for real. Speaking of Charlotte Flair, what do you think's going on right now with her and Alexa Bliss over on SmackDown?
I genuinely don't have a clue. Like, I'll be honest with you, and it kind of sucks. I don't care what the hell these two are doing together.
Yeah, I feel like they've gone at it so many times already. I almost don't really. If it was gonna go anywhere, I would have liked to see it in Money in the Bank, but at the same time, I didn't want to see Charlotte in Money in the Bank. Because it's like, why does Alexa Bliss want to be? Does she want to be friends with Charlotte Flair, or is she just kind of like, this is what happens when you don't have any friends, bitch? Um, I
Definitely the latter.
yeah, I have no idea because it seems like from week to week, it could be either or. But why would Alexa Bliss want to team up with Charlotte Flair? I don't know. I think Charlotte's gonna screw over Alexa in the Money in the Bank match, and then they're gonna start a feud.
Yeah, and I feel like this is like the perfect time to hopefully. I kind of wish, like, this is kind of like a weird timing now because they are doing like the Alexa and Charlotte thing. It's kind of a weird timing because we did mention this previously. The Wyatt Six are back,
Yes,
so
I was gonna get into that next, but we can jump right into it.
the Wyatt Six are back. Alexa needs to be in this group somehow.
Yeah, especially if they want something to go on with the women's tag titles. I think that her and Nikki Cross would be good for it. Although I don't see the Wyatt Six winning any gold here. I think I posted on Twitter. I replied to something on Twitter. It was like the Wyatt Six. Sure, they interrupted the tag division, but I don't think they're gonna go after any of the tag teams. Like I think Solo Sikoa would be a good choice. I think Dominic Mysterio would be a good choice. Um, who was the other one? I had one more. It'll come to me. But yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them sticking around in the tag division. I think that this was just kind of like how they debuted initially. They just came out and murdered everybody. Everybody's dead. We killed the main event of Friday Night SmackDown, which was before that was an awesome match. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, and I will say since there was interference, my prediction of Street Profits and Fraxium at Money in the Bank could potentially still happen.
that is true. That is true. I was thinking about that when it happened, actually.
Hey, I mean, still on board with
Yeah,
it.
these two teams scream PLE match, and I think I said it last week. Why they probably weren't on a PLE was because this like SmackDown just needs this hype ass tag division right now to keep me awake for the entire show. Because if that wasn't the main event of SmackDown, I probably would have fell asleep, just because like the show drags, man. It needs to go back to 2 hours, which I think it is. But yeah, I was so excited for this match, and they actually came back on Bray Wyatt's birthday. So that was fitting as well. I didn't see them coming back, but they're back and they're here.
Yeah, I did read initial reports that saying they were supposed to return at some time like this month, and I did realize like Bray Wyatt's birthday was on Friday, so it's like the timing is right there for them to return, and especially with like towards the end when like they brought out the cake, like
Yeah,
that was really touching.
yeah, it really is. I have a story. You can choose to believe it or you can choose to not believe it, but I swear on my life, and my girlfriend was there. We watched the Bray Wyatt documentary one night. Was it a miniseries or was it a documentary? I think it was a documentary. Just one thing.
It was documentary.
We watched it last year, maybe over the summer. As the show ended, or the movie ended, documentary ended, and the credits began to roll, a firefly flew into my room and landed on my wall. That is 100% true. I shit you not. I am not making that up.
Hey, I mean, I think that was Bray trying to tell you something.
I know. He was telling me, make a podcast, start a YouTube channel, make a wrestling podcast, predict the
Yeah.
Wyatt 6 return. Get it wrong. I was completely surprised by this return, though. I did not see it coming.
Unleash your wild fancy
Yeah.
bookings.
Unleash your wild fantasy bookings to the world. John Cena will win Money in the Bank this year. Karrion
He'll be a
Kross
two.
will finally get screen time.
Man, I still can't believe it's been like I don't. When did he pass away? It's been on.
I think it was 2023.
That's when I genuinely can't believe like Bray is gone because like Bray Wyatt like it is and still literally was like one of my favorite like superstars.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Cuz I remember the first WrestleMania that I like vividly remember as a child was WrestleMania 30, and going into it, one of my favorite feuds was John Cena versus Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And around the time he passed away, I wasn't watching weekly to the point where I could make a podcast about WWE, but I saw Bray Wyatt pass away and I was like, holy shit, like that's like one of my favorite wrestlers ever. My cousin used to love Bray Wyatt. Um Not to out my cousin Cece here, but she used to wear a fedora to school every day because of Bray Wyatt. But yeah, I've always loved Bray Wyatt. I've always loved the Wyatt family. So just seeing that, it was ass.
Yeah. Especially when he brought the Fiend character. I was
Yeah.
all for it until fucking Goldberg had to kill it.
Yeah, dude. Fuck Goldberg.
Not even fuck Goldberg. Fuck Vince, because
Yeah,
Vince
just
was
the
still in
booking.
charge at
It's
that
not
time.
okay. It's not Goldberg's fault, but still, from
But it's
a
like,
show standpoint, fuck Goldberg.
yeah. But like in hindsight, fuck Vince McMahon, because genuinely, Bray Wyatt had like one of the best characters, like going into like pretty much that different era of WWE, and it just sucks because it got shut down so quick.
Yeah, he was really one of the only supernatural acts that worked that we'd seen since The Undertaker. So to see it just evaporate.
I was gonna
like
say, I was gonna say, Undertaker literally passed the torch to him.
I know. Wasn't it like the year prior or like a couple of years prior to? Or was that before his release?
It was when,
It was after, or no, it was right before Roman Reigns, I believe. Or no.
yeah, that wasn't like the official passing though, because that was when they had their match at
And that was
31.
31, yeah, because he lost to Brock Lesnar.
Un-
Bray Wyatt.
Undertaker really didn't pass the torch until I think Raw 30,
Yeah.
because LA Knight was out there.
Yeah, wasn't that Bray Wyatt's last match or something? His like
It was like,
the like glow in the dark match against LA Knight.
yeah, LA Knight had Bray's last match.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I don't mean to get morbid here since we're talking about passings. I was watching a clip from Chris Van Fleet, and Mr. Kennedy had I think Eddie Guerrero's last match
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah,
Yeah.
insane.
It's just crazy to think sometimes like, hey, these are more than just characters on TV, you know. Especially after
Yeah.
watching that documentary, dude. It was so sad if you haven't seen it.
That documentary is like still like one of like the most like hard hitting documentaries
It
I've
really
ever watched.
was. It really was. Especially when they're like describing what actually like happened. Like he just went
Mm.
up to his room to take a nap, said to wake him up in an hour, and his wife or girlfriend or fiance at the time went upstairs to wake him up, and I think
Like,
we know the rest from there.
yeah, it's really unfortunate because like even like during like the time of like Bray's passing, like his like I guess like his costume designer that he has like off site from WWE, like he had like a bunch of stuff made for Bray. And like one of the things I saw, and I think it was mentioned in the documentary, was like he had a mask ready for Bray, and on one side it was like his face, but on the other side it was like JoJo's face.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so like that's just tough.
it is tragic. It's cool that Uncle Howdy got his mask and his costumes from the same guy, though.
Yeah,
I feel like he just feels inclined to. I would.
yeah. I mean, it runs in the family. Like I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Bo, but at the same time, like let Bo take the reins of whatever he needs to do because at the end of the day, I think what Bray really would have wanted was for Bo to carry his legacy.
Yeah, and I think so far he's doing a good job. I feel like
Yeah.
just because of the nature of the situation, no matter what the Wyatt Six do next, um, people are gonna pop for them. They're gonna
Yeah.
love them. They're gonna want to see them on TV. Even their song is so like if you really listen to it, is like emotional.
Yeah, it's Bray's theme song
Yeah,
for
it's so good.
before his passing, so
Yeah,
I mean everything just hits and like everything that's all the involvement with the Wyatt Six is like everything leads back to Bray.
yeah. Super impactful character, especially in my childhood as a wrestling
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah, like I'd be lying if I said I didn't want a rocking chair.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, but R.I.P. Bray. Hope the White Six really come out on their own and instead of being labeled as like a Bray Wyatt tribute,
It's like
uh,
that's what it is. Like it is a Bray Wyatt tribute. You know, I mean,
it
not
is,
in a bad
but
way. Not in a bad way at all. I think it's
yeah,
awesome what they're doing. I think it's completely warranted. Like I hate when
yeah,
people on Twitter are like, "Oh, well, look past the Bray Wyatt tribute and just watch their in-ring stuff." It's like, first of all, I don't think they're bad in ring. Second of
mhm,
all, like how could you even say that? Like, did you not like Bray Wyatt? Have you not
yeah,
go watch the documentary and then come tell me that? All right, let's go
yeah.
watch it.
It's just an unfortunate scene of events, and I feel like, in like hindsight now, like since Triple H is head of creative, I feel like he would have strapped that rocket to Bray and just shot him to the
Oh,
moon.
he totally would have.
Yeah.
I saw theories
So,
that this is a little bit of a lighter note, but I saw theories that the reason John Cena is heel right now is because he's still trapped in the Firefly Funhouse.
I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that online or not. I forget the exact details of it because it was like this Instagram post, and it was like, the ones you can like slide.
Yeah.
It was like 15 slides long, like conspiracy theory level shit of how John Cena is still trapped inside the funhouse, and Uncle Howdy is gonna turn John Cena back, which honestly I wouldn't have a problem with, just because of his history with Bray Wyatt.
John Cena is the new member of the White Six. I mean, he technically kind of was a member of the Wyatt family.
I mean, if you think about it too, John Cena would be a good Uncle Howdy target. just because, you know, they go after people who've turned on their family. Who was John Cena's family for 25 years? It was us, the crowd. And I think it would make sense. I think John Cena could totally have a run in with them.
Oh yeah, but I just feel like I said, because it's Cena's last year, I feel like they already have so much set up for him that it's probably unlikely that we'll see any sort of interaction.
Yeah, it's probably because it's probably been so far planned and advanced, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they've probably been thinking about this since like a year and a half ago. If you ever watched the Paul Heyman and Logan Paul podcast, Paul Heyman was talking about how you book stories like this and how you don't just do it. Oh, this happens and this happens and then this happens. It's like say we take like Seth Rollins for example. We'd be like, where do we want Seth Rollins to be at WrestleMania 41? Take him after WrestleMania 40. It's like, all right, well, we want him to be champion for then main eventing. Like they already have the main event plan for WrestleMania 41, maybe, I don't know, in this random fantasy booking world. And it's like, well, how do we get him there? Maybe we could have Seth run into this guy here, and then this guy is the one who goes after him at WrestleMania 41. Like say it's like Sami Zayn, for example. We've already had the inciting incident when they first turned heel. We've had the tag match now at Saturday night's main event. So it's like everything just builds up to that, and then after that, you just base the rest of your card around that.
Yeah. I mean, there's gonna be a lot that happens in this year, and our wild fancy bookings are gonna be like 1% correct.
You know what? That's fine because it's really fun to do, and it's really fun to make TikToks about it. If we're like,
Speaking of speaking of our TikToks, I did call it, by the way, us taking shots at the Pittsburgh Steelers and like any of the sports teams would be our most viewed clip.
it is,
I called
it's
it.
across YouTube and TikTok. It's the most viewed one. I think it is on Instagram too. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, you were right. That is the most popular one right now. It's got like 1,400 views on TikTok, which in the grand scheme of TikToks isn't that much, but it's our most viewed one, so I'll take it.
I would say like our TikTok clips from last week are already our most viewed. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, they get better every week. They're pretty good.
because we get wilder every week.
That means we're getting better. We're getting better. A wise man once told me, just keep making shit, you'll find your audience. Our audience just so happens to be on TikTok and not Spotify or YouTube. That's fine. It attracts a little bit of attention at least.
I mean, since it worked last week, let's do it again. So we got Vikings, Bears, Cowboys, Steelers, Eagles. You can all kick rocks.
Yeah, for real. I hate all those teams. Let me think. Who else do I hate with a burning passion? None more than the
Penn,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Penn State fans, you can also kick rocks.
I don't watch too much college football, honestly. Um, my uncle's a Penn State fan. The only college football game I've ever been to was Penn State Illinois, the longest college football game of all time. It went into 8 overtimes. Was it
I was
8
gonna
or
say, I'm
9?
pretty sure Illinois. I think Illinois won that game,
They
right?
did. They did. Yep, I was there.
Yep,
Because
I
I was sitting there
remember
with
that
my
game.
uncle, and I was like, "How does college overtime work?" And he was trying to explain it to me like while it was happening. And I was like, "I guess I'll just find out." Yeah, it was crazy. I think the quarterback like broke his arm in that game. The Illinois quarterback. Like something happened where
I
he like left the game in like a cast.
I'll say like I vaguely remember that game. I just remember Penn State losing.
Yeah, no, it was a couple years ago, but yeah, Penn State did lose in 8 overtimes. The game was like 4.5 hours long. I was like, "What is this
Because I was
baseball?"
because I was watching that game too. I was like, yeah, screw you, Penn
Yeah,
State.
yeah. I don't know. I'm indifferent to college teams. I don't really follow it too much. I it's not that I don't see a reason to do it because like so I watch college football when it's on, but I don't
No.
like religiously follow a team because it's like I'm gonna like these players, and then they're gonna go on to the NFL, and I'm gonna have to find new players to like. I don't want to do that. I just want to like my franchise quarterback for 15 years, me being a Packers fan, it's really easy to say that. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, got Jordan Love. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just weird to watch it happen. Like when Aaron Rodgers left Green Bay, I was like, what?
Yes.
Like, what is going on now? What do I do? Where is my life taking me? I was a Jordan Love hater for the first. I'd say until like halfway through his first season when Toyotathon started. You ever heard the
Oh,
Jordan Love
oh,
Toyotathon theory?
yeah. Oh
It's
God.
a crazy one. Whenever Toyotathon hits, Jordan Love just turns it on, and then Toyotathon ends, and he turns it off, which is right around when the playoffs start. So, I wrote an article about it in school because at the time I was in a sports writing class, and we were doing
Mhm.
column stories, which is like an opinionated news story kind of thing. So you write like all the facts, and then at the end you give your opinion. And I was like, Jordan Love, I think he's a bust right now. However, once Toyotathon starts, he'll turn it on. Just you watch. And guess what happened?
It happened.
It happened. It happened. So yeah, give me Jordan
uh,
Love during Toyotathon for the Super Bowl. If Toyota could just extend Toyotathon that much longer till like the middle of February, that'd be great for me.
so 100 Toyotathon Jordan Loves versus one Gorilla. Who do you
Oh god.
take?
give me the Toyotathon Jordan Loves. You would need 100 gorillas to defeat one Toyotathon Jordan Love. Okay.
Uh, what a blast that segment is, and honestly, will forever be probably one of the most iconic segments of all time.
That was fun. Unfortunately, it was fucked up by the weather. It's not raining today, believe it or not. It hasn't
Oh
rained in like
yeah, I
3
mean,
days. Yesterday it was beautiful
yeah,
outside.
yeah, no rain in Philly either. I
Yeah.
mean, who would have thought that ends what our like 5 or 6 week
Yeah.
streak of it rain?
Yeah. Of course, the day I start my full-time desk job is the day it stops raining in NEPA. And the day before that, my last day as an unemployed person with nothing going on. Okay, I had a part-time job. I wasn't unemployed. But my last day of freedom, as I like to call it, I spent outdoors in like 75-degree heat digging up
Hey, I mean,
bushes. We ripped 2 bushes out of my front yard. We opened my pool. I've got a nasty sunburn. Like I have like a farmer's tan going on right now on my back. Ugh. I can't even sleep with it. I had to take my cooling knee pillow and sleep on it on my back last night because it was so bad.
oh, that's rough. I can't imagine what it's like to burn. I don't know what that's like.
It sucks, man. It's ass. Yeah, my
I just
peely
I
white
just
skin. Ugh.
I just tan thanks to my genetics.
Yeah. The motherland of Poland made me weak to the sun. Stick me in a snow globe. Let me live there forever.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. It's like I can tan real easily. I don't enjoy the heat at all.
Oh, I hate it. I hate sweating. I hate being like unnecessarily wet, as I say it. Like playing football in the rain. I can't stand it. I hated it. I hated playing in the rain because I was, believe it or not, me at 5'6", 130 pounds in high school, started at center my senior year. Um, I couldn't snap the ball because it was so wet. I was like, this is so.
Was-
Everybody's like, you're a lineman. You're not even a lineman because you hate the mud. I'm like, yeah, here, you hold this. Hold this and throw it back. If you miss, everything is fucked up and it's your fault. Go ahead.
uh,
Like, just use a
trust
towel.
me.
I'm like, the towel is wet too. I'm wearing the towel in the rain. The towel is wet. The extra ball we
Uh,
have, it's also wet.
oh, trust me. I feel your pain as a center. I got my first snap in uh my junior year. We were in the district playoff against Del Val. It was pouring. We were guaranteed to lose because we were going into that game 1-9.
Oh, great.
I mean, we were 6A, so we were guaranteed a spot anyway in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forget what the score was until pretty much all the starters got pulled out. I remember I'm in at center. It's like pouring wet. My towel is soaking. So if I try to dry my hand on the towel, it just didn't work at all.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all the snaps I had resulted in fumbles.
Yeah.
So
People are like, oh, just dry your hand off on the towel. Like, yeah, the towel. This is like this towel was like dunked in a pool. This is not a towel. This makes my hands more wet. I can go
yeah,
like this and it would be more effective.
yeah.
I had to snap the ball with two hands because I have small hands to begin with. So I would just like grab it like this and just like throw it. It was like a long snap almost. I couldn't long snap in the rain either. So ass.
I played everywhere on the O line. I just had to get used to doing everything.
I don't want to say I was only allowed to play center, but it was like I was always blocking back. So all I would have to do was get in somebody's way for like a second and a half and like hold my base up strong enough until they knocked me over inevitably for the play to just go by me. I wasn't great, but I got the job done, you know?
Was that just Mid Valley football at its finest? Or just
Yes, it was.
what what division were you guys in? 3A?
We were 2A at the time. Now we're 3A.
Yeah. I remember during COVID, Scranton bumped down to 5A, which I would never would have expected, but now
Yeah.
they're back up to 6A.
Yeah. Yeah, big school. Because I initially I was at prep until my junior year. And, like, obviously over there, never saw the field at all. My senior year, I transferred back to Mid Valley for a host of reasons. I don't want to say football was one of them, but if I was a senior at prep, I probably wasn't even going to play because I was like, I don't want to be a practice squad senior. That's just ass, you know? So I figured I'd have more of a chance over there, and I did. So I knew I wasn't going to the NFL that year. Funny enough, we got to play Scranton Prep in the COVID year, and obviously all my friends are still on the other team, so like they're like heckling me all week. They're like, "We're gonna kick your ass," blah blah blah, daddy ball, whatever. You left to go play, and I was like, "I'm 5'6", 135 pounds, playing the offensive line. I am not going to play at Penn State." I started 6 football games in my entire high school career, excluding freshmen, which that shouldn't count anyway. But like, come on, give me a break. All right, half those kids went on to play in college, so just give me my
Yeah.
fun. Just let me have my fun, and I did. Those were the most fun games ever. Fun 6 games.
It's still wild the amount of football product that came out of the area.
Yeah, it really is. There's a guy from Lakeland right now that is on the
TJ.
CJ. Yeah, he's on the Patriots.
I think he's gonna make the full roster,
He
and I
probably
hope he
is.
does.
He probably is. He's like 6'8". He was like 6'8",
You know,
270 in high school. He was a monster. I have a solo tackle on him. We played them.
You could
We played
flex
them.
that.
We played them week 1 of my senior year. That was when I got my first start because we had a different center at the time, and then for whatever reason he got taken out and I got put in, and then I started the rest of the year. But I also played linebacker, and here's him catching a bubble screen right in front of me. I was like, "Holy fuck, am I gonna get run over?" I pushed him out of bounds. That's my
Hey,
solo tackle on an NFL tight end. So
yeah, I mean,
I guess it counts.
started at CJ's a beast.
Yeah, he's
I
crazy.
pray nothing but the best for him.
He's a good guy too.
Yeah. I mean, even his brother. I mean, he's at. I think he just transferred to Holy Holy Cross or JMU. Some purple team.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
refereed one of his games actually because I referee now. I think I did
Mhm.
Riverside Lakeland 2 years ago. That was like my second varsity game I ever did. I got
Mhm.
yelled at by their coach because I called a pass interference call. He comes up, he's like, "What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? Blah blah blah." I was like, "Coach, he's grabbing his jersey," and he goes, "Oh, okay." I was like, okay. Most coaches will keep arguing it, but I was like, "No, coach, he had the jersey." And he goes, "Oh, all right." He just walked away. I was like, "Okay, thanks." So here's the thing about being a
Eh,
referee: you can bullshit like half the time. Like if you just say that's what happened, even if it didn't happen. Just like stick by it, even if it didn't happen and you know you're wrong. Like if you call a holding and there was no holding, and I'll be like, "No, coach, I could see his inside hand and you can't. He's spinning him this way, even though nothing's happening. You just fucked it up, but just keep it to yourself and you'll be all right."
and that, ladies and gentlemen, is our side conversation of the week.
Take a bow. Is there anything more on WWE that we want to cover for the week? I feel like I gotta get out of here soon and fill out some paperwork for work and shit. But before we do, I would like to end on one more WWE based topic. Is there anything else we want to close out the show with today?
I will say I did call this a few weeks ago. Rusev and Sheamus.
There you go. There you go. That is a good feud. I'm actually really hyped for this feud. Obviously we knew he was just gonna fuck up Tozawa. Like there was no chance. This was another squash match. But yeah, I like Sheamus versus Rusev. We're calling back to League of Nations. We got two big, heavy hitting dudes going at it 1-on-1 here. This feud could cook.
Yeah, and I'm so glad I called it.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of our predictions that was in fact correct. Um,
Let's go.
Sheamus versus Rusev. We gotta we
Hey,
gotta call out when the predictions are correct because that doesn't happen too often here.
to be fair, I did technically line it up right too because I did say Rusev could have a few squash matches before he gets into his first feud, and I said his first feud would have been Sheamus. I called it right on the dot.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Little applause. We'll see if John Cena winning Money in the Bank is next.
I need that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think it'll cook over on Monday Night Raw. I'm excited to see hopefully a first promo from Rusev, not just like a backstage vignette, like him out in the ring. Um, but yeah, like 1-on-1 with Sheamus, I think would be cool. I think we can get it as early as next week, maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna see bangers from these two. We should.
Banger after banger after banger.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy because that's so true. Like you don't think like just basic Monday Night Raw match. You got Sheamus and some schmuck from the back, um, and it is a banger, dude. It just is. Like Sheamus matches always cook. Like I remember, what was it? The old fashioned Donnybrook with Pete Dunne. That was a good match on free
Bra-
TV.
Brawling brutes.
The Brawling Brutes, Butch. That was where the Butch thing came to be.
hmm
Then R-Truth kind of ran with it.
I mean, that's also where we saw Ridge Holland end Biggie's career,
Oh yeah.
unfortunately.
Let's let's not get into that one right now. I don't want to get into New Day and the Raw tag division for the like fourth week in a row. Oh my god. You know what? Fine, let's do it cuz there was a title match on Monday Night Raw this week. We had the triple threat match, New Day, Creed Brothers and the War Raiders. What were you thinking about this match and the results? Did this elevate the tag division whatsoever?
It slightly elevated it. I didn't think it was a bad match. I thought it was pretty good for what it was. I just feel like it this division would have been elevated if a new champion was crowned.
Yeah, totally. I so saw the Creed brothers winning this one. Or even, I thought the War Raiders were going to take it back initially. But during the match, I thought it was the Creed brothers. But before it started, I thought the War Raiders were going to regain their titles here. What this division needs is like promos and storylines. Like so far, like we've been talking, it seems like the last like 5 weeks now about how this division has nothing going on. And it's because there's no promos involved. Like at all. Like on SmackDown, we get backstage segments, we get new teams coming in, we get interactions in the ring, we get promos, we get everything. And right now, it's like Raw just has nothing. Like right now, it's like Raw and SmackDown with their mid card women and their men's tag team divisions are swapped. Because on SmackDown, we have a great men's tag division and no women's mid card. But on Raw, the women's mid card is awesome, but we have no men's tag division. So I guess pick and choose your battles. You can't have everything on one show. But as your flagship show, you should totally have something more than what we're being given.
Yeah, and I will say, and I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. At this rate, I wouldn't even mind if these titles went back to Judgment Day.
You know what? If I didn't foresee Judgment Day breaking up in the near future, like the very near future, I think it's going to happen within the next month and a half. I would agree with you. Only because at least when Judgment Day held them, they were in backstage segments and stuff, you know? But right now, it's like Judgment Day isn't competing that much as a tag team. I mean, they did, what, 2 weeks ago? But other than that, we haven't seen too much from them. Finn Balor, I feel like, is more on track to be on the singles run right now. Just because, dude, I thought Finn Balor was winning that match last night, by the way. There was like, there was
Yeah.
such a slight hope that he was going to do it. And then towards the end of the match, I was like, holy shit, Finn Balor's got it. Like, Sami Zayn is out of the match. Seth Rollins is down. He's got the steel chair. But then no. But yeah, I think Finn Balor, I'm still sticking with my prediction from WrestleMania. Finn Balor is going to go on a singles run. He's going to beat Dominic Mysterio for the IC title sometime in the near future. This match also screams SummerSlam to me, which leads me to believe that Judgment Day is not going to be a tag team group for much longer. And if Judgment Day took them, honestly, I don't see a tag team that could even compete with them at this point. Like, storyline wise, not in ring, because obviously Judgment Day is not at their peak strength right now just because they lose all the fucking time. But just from a storyline perspective, they have so much more aura to them, even though they're like Raw's biggest losers, other than Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Yeah, I don't know. This division just needs something storytelling wise. There's none of that. It's competing for a meaningless title.
I will say Finn Balor is like a D1 instigator. Like,
Dude, yeah, no, he is. He is. You
I
can see him smirking.
absolutely him and JD, like when Liv pops up on screen and like the face on Finn, I was like, Balor's such an instigator. There's a reason why he brought Roxanne into this.
Oh yeah, totally.
Also, Dominic Mysterio cannot get away with this. Like,
There's no way, dude. There's no way he just gets away with it. Like at the end of it, where Liv was on Roxanne's side, like, are you kidding me? She was like, Raquel, you're the veteran here. You should know better. I was like, like what? What are you talking about? She's
yeah.
trying to steal your man right now. Just like ruin the match for you, and you really? You're just gonna side with her? She's giving your man the chicken nuggets. That's
Massaging
blasphemy
his shoulder.
That's blasphemy right there. I feel like that's like equivalent. Like, I don't know how I want to word this without it sounding weird. It's like equivalent in a way to like the Edge and Lita sex scene on live TV. It's like the closest we're gonna get to two people like fucking on WWE TV is somebody giving Dominic Mysterio a tray of chicken. It's like to me they're equivalent.
That is our clip of the week.
There it is.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're definitely gonna get. I feel like Money in the Bank is where we might get that Judgment Day break off.
Yeah. Or after. I gotta see who wins first because I still want to go. Naomi is in a qualifying match next week. However, it's with Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. Um, so I don't know where that's
And
gonna go. So that's a
and
tough one.
genuinely, I could see any of those one
I
going.
I could too, for as much as I really really want it to be Naomi, and I think it is gonna be Naomi, because looking at it, you're like, is Naomi here to take the pin? But at the same time, it's like, well, Nia Jax just had her championship feud. She's got nothing going on right now.
Hmm.
I'm sticking with my prediction. I want to see Jade Cargill go at it with Tiffany Stratton at Money in the Bank. I think Naomi's got it. I could kind of see my plan unfolding here. I think this is the closest thing I have right now. This is like my John Cena winning Money in the Bank. I am clinging to it, and I think it's so close to being there. You know?
Hey, I mean, anything's possible nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what might
I'm,
happen.
I mean, literally, Trick Williams is NXT champion right now, so
Yeah, yeah. It's a crazy world. Triple H is WWE, and TKO just buying everything it sees. It's like the old oil industries, just buying and eating everything else. No smaller competition shall exist. AEW is trying its damnedest to keep up.
I know we're on limited time now, but I do have one more thing to mention if you don't have anything else.
I have nothing else, so you go ahead. This will be the final topic for the show.
WrestleMania being relocated back
Oh,
to Vegas.
jeez. That's kind of tough. Because honestly, was I going to go to WrestleMania anyway? Probably not. There's no way in hell I was going to go to New Orleans or Las Vegas, regardless of where it was. But maybe I would have went if it was in New York. Maybe I would have went if it was in Philly again. Maybe I would have went if it was in Florida. I don't know. Somewhere a little bit closer. Not that we're that close to Florida, but it's closer than Las Vegas. Um, I think that's not good for the future because Las Vegas said we don't want to do it every year, but we would like it to be a reoccurring thing. Um, which also, if you think about it, New Orleans has kind of been a reoccurring thing. They've had 3 WrestleManias in the last like 10 years. Um, Texas has had what, two? I think
Three, I think.
3. Yeah. So it's not uncommon, but like if 7 of the next 10 WrestleManias are in Las Vegas, that'll be problematic.
I don't love the fact that they had to, like, I don't know if you saw, like, when Triple H made the announcement. It looks like Triple H did not want this to happen.
It
Like,
definitely wasn't his decision.
he definitely did not want to make this announcement. And honestly, it's not like he was part of the decision making. He's like the head of creative. It's the board of directors, realistically.
Yeah, The Rock coming back one more time.
And like, it doesn't make sense because, especially going into 2026, where Money in the Bank is after SummerSlam. Like,
Is it
I don't
really?
get that. Yeah, Money in the Bank is after SummerSlam next year.
How? That's disgusting.
I
I don't like that. Money in the Bank is it's right where it should be. Why would they move it?
yeah, yeah, no, I don't know, but I saw this funny thing on Twitter. It's like, all right, now we're gonna get like SummerSlam in like February.
Yeah, like it's not even gonna be SummerSlam. I could see if SummerSlam was in like July instead of August, but
Yeah, no, apparently, SummerSlam is gonna be at the start of August, and a few weeks after that, it's gonna be Money in the Bank.
hmm, I didn't hear that. But I don't like that. I don't like that at
Yeah.
all. Because Money in the Bank has been in June or early July for years.
Hmm.
I don't see any reason to change that. Because now that makes me think that the Money in the Bank briefcase holder that we have now is going to hold on to it for way longer than just the Monday Night Raw afterward, you know? Um,
Yeah.
because I like the threat of having a Money in the Bank holder. And if my prediction about Naomi stands, where she cashes in night of, if Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill happens then, and the men's Money in the Bank cashes in the next day on Raw, it's like I can only see one of those two things happening, you know. Um, and if Money in the Bank's gonna be moved back so far, that's like an extra half a year that somebody's got to hold on to it.
Yeah.
I just like having the briefcase around.
Yeah, like this is a really bad call on WWE's part. Like, granted, Vegas did have a great WrestleMania this year, but it shouldn't. No WrestleMania should ever be hosted like back to back in like the same venue.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like WrestleMania was great because it was in Las Vegas. It was like WrestleMania would have been the same show if it was in Philadelphia. It would have been the same show if it was in New Jersey. It would have been the same show if it was in Texas. Like, you know?
I was gonna say, like, having it in Vegas again makes it even more of an inconvenience.
Yeah. Because,
Cause
like,
like
oh, go ahead.
I don't know if the WrestleMania tickets when it was originally in New Orleans were like out for sale yet. But like, say if someone had already bought those and like had their whole like itinerary set for New Orleans just for WrestleMania to be moved back to Vegas, like that just ruins everything that someone spent like all their hard-earned money for.
Yeah. And it's like now they can't go. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if, like, we bought tickets for SummerSlam in New Jersey and now all of a sudden it's in Los Angeles. It's like, well, now what? You know? Because that also
Yeah.
that limits like the amount of people that, like you were saying, like what if somebody planned for it to go? It's like a whole trip. Like that limits the amount of people that will be able to go, almost, that like look forward to, hey, maybe WrestleMania will be in my town this year. Like, when was the last time WrestleMania was in Philadelphia, PA? Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't even tell you. So like people around here who've might have never been to a WrestleMania, looking forward to it coming back. Like, this news is like WrestleMania is never coming back. You know?
Yeah, and they announced that WrestleMania would be in New Orleans for 2026. What, like 2 3 years ago? Like this was already so like far in advance
Yeah,
that like just for it to be switched up now is like insane.
yeah. Like, I wonder how much money Las Vegas put down on it.
Like I genuinely don't think this is gonna be like the same atmosphere as what this year delivered.
Yeah, no, totally not. Especially if it's
Like,
just back to back. Like, I could see maybe if they did New Orleans and then Las Vegas again, but
mm,
nah, I don't like this
yeah, but
decision.
like just to like rip the cord off of it already being set in New Orleans, I think is gonna really piss off a lot of people, and it looks like it has.
Yeah. No, it totally has. It pissed me off, and I've never been to a WrestleMania, nor will now. If it's in Las Vegas every year, will I maybe ever be at a WrestleMania, you know?
Hmm.
Because it was like WWE was always like that traveling circus attraction, you know? Like, it goes around once in a while. You get a Royal Rumble in Philly, and you could go. Maybe you get a WrestleMania in Pittsburgh, you could go. I don't know. Um, but that just like completely limits that. Because first WrestleMania, what's next? SummerSlam? What's SummerSlam going to be in LA every year? Like, I don't know, just because it fits the vibe. Is the Royal Rumble going to become a 2 night show and end up in Saudi Arabia every year? Like, who knows? The thought of
I
it
mean,
is like scary and it sucks.
I was even reading reports that WWE could look at potentially hosting a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, which I kid you not, that might be like the ultimate like no right there.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's bad enough that the
No one's
Royal
gonna want
Rumble's
to
going to happen.
travel that far,
No, nobody is.
especially Saudi Arabia, where God knows how much everything is.
Yeah, and like think of like the way that they treat like women superstars over there. Like, they
Hmm.
wouldn't be able to wear half their ring gear.
Yeah.
just because they can't. It's not allowed. People over there don't even pop for women's matches the way it is. So it's like you can't have a WrestleMania, which is like I'd like to say typically split down the middle between women's matches and men's matches, um, and just not have people pop for half the show. Like, is that what you're gonna do? Just because the Saudi Arabian embassy paid you $10 bajillion? Like,
Yeah. Like it's unfortunate because I think a lot of people were really looking forward to WrestleMania being back in New Orleans again, just because it's the first one since what was it, 36,
something like that.
34?
I think was
I
that the
don't
last
remember.
time Finn Balor was relevant?
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I because like I still think that, and I don't. This might be a hot take. I don't know. New Orleans, I feel like has always been so synonymous, especially with wrestling recently, because I feel like a lot has been involved in Louisiana. But other than that, I just like I said, this is a bad call on WWE TKO. Like no one asked for WrestleMania to be back in Vegas back to back years.
Yeah, because I saw a thing that it was like Las Vegas just loved the attention that it brought to the city, which was um, losing attraction in recent years by people. Like people don't want to go to Las Vegas anymore, so this gives people now a reason to go to Las Vegas once a year. And it's just like really like that's what we're selling out for, the city of Las Vegas. Now, I'm a Vegas sports fan. I love the Vegas Golden Knights. I have their logo tattooed on my right leg. However, that doesn't I don't pledge my allegiance to the city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Like when Vegas comes to New York, I go see them. I watched them up in Buffalo a year or two ago. Like I'm not going to go out of my way to go to Las Vegas to support Las Vegas,
Yeah,
because
like
it's so far
and
and it's so expensive.
yeah, like most people they go to Vegas once in their lifetimes just to check it off a bucket list.
Yeah.
But it's like especially like if you go to WrestleMania, like of course that's gonna be like an ultimate. Yeah, I get to go to Vegas and a WrestleMania. Hell yeah, two. Let's kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Oh, where's WrestleMania again? Oh, it was in New Orleans, but it's back in Vegas. I don't want to go back to Vegas again. Like, yeah, I spent all this money last year. Why do I want to do that again?
Yeah. Exactly. You know, green shirt guy's wallet is killing him.
I don't. He might be the only one in attendance.
Yeah. I saw a thing at how he got his front row seats for life. Did you see
Ellsworth.
that video? Yeah. He's like, you gotta trade me a chin. Still haven't got my chin.
Want to know what's even more wild now that you brought up that?
What?
James Ellsworth has a winning record against AJ Styles.
That's funny. That's like
I think
R-Truth had a winning record against John Cena.
well,
Until.
here's the thing though. I think Ellsworth is like 3-0.
Oh, really?
And that was when AJ Styles was WWE
Oh
champion.
my god. That's
Because
funny.
the whole Ambrose thing.
Yeah. That's funny.
Speaking of Ambrose, John Moxley, I just want to give a shout out, even though we did bash AEW last week. I was watching Anarchy in the Arena. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. I didn't watch it.
Uh,
Not an AEW watcher. Weekly AEW
I
watcher.
mean, neither did I, but I had NXT and AEW on at the same time, so it was like I'll catch a glimpse of it, and my God, I will say, as much as the AEW like weekly shows suck, their pay-per-views are like actually legit. I will give them that.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
The AEW Glazers would disagree.
Of course they would. Yeah, but on that note, I think it's a good time to wrap up.
Yeah, I'm ready to wrap it up too if you are. I got to get to some shit before tomorrow, but thank you all for listening, watching, subscribing, however else you are finding and consuming this podcast. I'm Jake. That's Jet Li. You can follow us at Squash Match Wrestling on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, and now TikTok. All of those are in the graphic below. You can also find us over on Instagram. Jet Li, plug your Instagram real quick.
Jetly_T.
And you can find me at J_Yanoski2103. Be sure to tune in next week for we are giving our official Money in the Bank predictions this time. We should have the full match card by then. But until then, everybody, we will see you in the next one.